Yo, what up, you cats? My Escape 20 here, and today, guys, what I have for you here today is the complete DLC guide for my favorite Borderlands, Borderlands 1. Now, you can't beat this game. This is such a classic. The artwork is beautiful, the DLC is fantastic, and everything about this game is just awesome. I love the characters. I just love everything about it. Borderlands 1 is what made me love Borderlands. So, that's why I'm super excited to go ahead and share all my insight about these DLCs and the pros and cons and some videos I have that tagged along with them. So let's go ahead and jump into the first DLC that came out, the Zombie Island of Dr. Ned. So the Zombie Island of Dr. Ned has some pros and cons. So as you see at the bottom right, those are the videos I have to go with it. I have the the intro to the DLC. I've got Boss Fight 13 against Hank Reese. I've got Boss Fight 14 against Dr. Ned. Number 15 against Undead Ned. And then TK Baja's Secret Brain Mission. So if you're missing any of those or have trouble or anything on those, make sure you go ahead and check those out. All of those will be clickable so that you can go ahead and access those. So what are the pros? Well, the pros of this DLC is this is a super fun theme bosses, right? You have Hank Reese, which is like this werewolf thing. You've got Dr. Ned, which is just creepy in itself. And then you have Undead Ned. As well as you have zombies going everywhere and brains, you know, kind of flying everywhere. And the last thing is you have hidden quests. So you have different things that pop up later on during the DLC that you can do, just like the Secret Brain Mission, and I have the video on that where you can see, you know, what you can get off of that. And yeah, so that I really enjoyed this whole DLC experience itself. So what are the cons of this DLC? The cons of the DLC is the enemies eventually feel repetitive. So what I mean by that is, like, everything's new, you know, it's a fantastic first DLC, everything's zombie-like, and you love it, but by the end of it, you're just starting to slay a ton of zombies, and eventually I just kind of found myself running past them. So that's the only thing I feel I have a con about this. Also, some missions are tedious, where just like the secret mission where you have to get eventually 250 headshots, you know, first doing 10, 25, 50, 100, 250. So when you add all those together, I mean, it's just so many headshots that you eventually have to grind out for, but that is really the only con I feel like this. So I give this rating an 8 because I love this DLC. This is a fantastic first DLC to start this series with, and I recommend getting this one. So the next DLC we're going to look at is Mad Moxxi's Underdome Riot. So what this is all about is basically it's this big slaughterhouse, and you can, you know, do it with friends, you do it solo, and there's different prizes for completing each. So we'll talk about that. So some of the pros you get is you finally get a weapon, gear, and bank. So for those of you that just started in Borderlands 2 and Borderlands pre-sequel, that doesn't matter for you because that's built in the game, right? But for Borderlands 1, if you guys knew the struggle, it's having all those legendaries and not have anywhere to put them, right? So just creating characters so that you can eventually swap them over. Well, you don't have to do that anymore because of this. The bank, you can, you know, put all your gear and weapons in, and eventually you can upgrade it, I think, to 21 slots. The only thing about this is, like, it's not like Borderlands 2 where you have the Claptrap locker where you can, you know, swap them between characters. There is no swapping between characters in this game. You have to either split screen and do that, or meet up with another friend and have him hold on to it, and then switch characters, and then have him give it back if he's nice. So that's pretty much what that has to do. You get a free skill point. So after completing a certain round of the Underdome Riot, then you can get yourself a free skill point. Also, there's a possibility for minigames with your friends. So it's like, who can complete this wave faster? Who can complete this round faster? Who can go longer without dying? Just kind of stuff like that. You can kind of make mini games out of these. I give this rating an overall 4, just because you'll see here in a second about the cons, why I think that. But the videos that go with it are the intro, Arena 1, 2, and 3 bosses, and how to get a free skill point for literally almost nothing. So yeah, so the cons for this is it is a boring horde mode, and when I say boring, I mean boring. There's no XP for killing, so you're slaying things for days, right? You're killing so many things, but you don't get XP for any of it. So you're just killing things. Like, There's no XP involved. The only XP you get is when you turn in the thing after 3 hours of playing it. And the cons are you rely on RNG. So what I mean by that is later on you get certain kind of like abilities that come up. So say, you know, enemies do more to you, you do more with pistols, you do this, you don't do this, stuff like that. You can jump higher. So you rely on RNG, so you could go on a massive streak, and then you're on the final wave, final round, and you get bad RNG where they pretty much one-shot you with explosives, someone comes out with an RPG, and then you're dead. And that's happened before, and it's really aggravating. So I give this rating a 4, and that's a little bit generous. Like, I would almost say it's a 2, just because of the weapon gear bank and free skill point. Minigames or whatever, at least in my opinion. But 4 is a little bit generous, I would say. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So the next DLC that finally came out was the Secret Armory of General Knoxx, and this one is a fantastic DLC. This DLC blew my mind. Overall, it's a great DLC, has a lot of things that you need to take advantage of, and I'll be going over that in just a second. So the videos that come with there are the intro video, boss fight 16 against Mr. Shank, 17 against General Knoxx, how to get unlimited time in the Secret Armory, the final end prize, and of course the only invincible in Borderlands 1, which is Cromrax. So that boss fight, I believe that might have been like 18 or something, maybe 20. It was boss fight number 23, which I know it jumped out, but you can't do that till later. So we'll go ahead and talk about that here in a second. So what are the pros? Well, the pros are Cromrax, right? Cromrax is the only way, well, no, that's not true. Cromrax is the most efficient way to get all the legendaries for your stuff, all the best gear, pearlescence, everything. So Cromrax is where it's at. So if you can take down Cromrax, you're already set. Now, it is a little bit difficult if you don't have the guns and stuff from him that he can drop. It might be a little bit difficult. Now, I'm not going to say it's not, because it was difficult. But you know, eventually you guys will be able to take him down, and it is the best feeling in the world, and you get so much gear for him. If you don't believe me, just watch that video, the boss fight with subs at the end, and you can see what I'm talking about. Another pro is you get loot for days, and that is just throughout the whole DLC. So you have the armory itself, where you can get a ton of legendaries in, and which I'd recommend doing if you can't beat Cromrax. And if you go ahead and check out that end prize video, or how to get unlimited time, which I definitely recommend checking out first, that will show you how to maximize your chances of getting fantastic gear for that. Also, the massive DLC. It is just a massive DLC, right? You have so many different areas, so many different departments in this DLC that it feels like a whole nother game just for a glimpse. So it's completely overwhelming, and it's just massive. So they did a fantastic job with that. The cons is everything is spread out. So what I mean by that is you have to pretty much get in a vehicle to go everywhere. If you're walking everywhere, good luck. You might as well just go AFK and let the dog kind of walk around for you, because it's going to take a while. So pretty much you have to drive a vehicle everywhere, or you're screwed, because it is a very, 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 very big DLC. The other con is the required level is 35. So you're saying, why is that a con? Well, with all the other ones, you can play them immediately at level 15, right? So say you just want to play the game, but bam, I want to kill some zombies. You go back to the the island of Zombie Island with the Ned, and you go there with him, and you know, you just kill everything. So you can do that at 15, but you can't do that till level 35 here. So, and also a lot of trivial missions. And what I mean by that is, when they say that, it means like you're going to be traveling a lot. So basically, you're going to be doing a lot of loading screens, right? You're going to be driving a bunch, and you're going to be going through loading screens, so there's a lot of time that you have to wait and stuff like that. So that is really the only cons of this DLC. I still give this DLC a 10 out of 10 because of the amount of loot and the only invincible in the game. And when I say that invincible is 100% worth it, I definitely recommend it. So you have to be level 69 to fight it, because I believe the boss is either level 70 or 71 or something like that. It's pretty much you have no chance unless you're max level with all legendaries. So that's just kind of like a tip. And I definitely recommend playing it with a bunch of friends, because you're gonna need people. But yeah, I still give this DLC 10 out of 10. So the final DLC that came out for Borderlands 1 is the Claptrap's new robot revolution, and I give this rating a 9 out of 10, and I will explain why in just a second. So the videos I have for this is the intro video, boss fight 18 against General knoxx Trap, Dr. Ned Trap, Commandant Steel Trap, Undead Ned Trap, Mega Interplanet Ninja Assassin Claptrap, which is kind of not what you think, and the end prize videos. So this video has so many things, and we're going to be talking about why. So the pros to this is the most boss fights. This has the most boss fights in the entire, not game, but in the entire DLC. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 boss fights in just this one DLC. Now I will say the Undead Ned Trap is a little bit underwhelming. It doesn't feel like a boss fight, but it technically is a boss fight, according to the Borderlands. But all the other ones feel like a boss fight, and it's awesome to fight your favorite villains in Claptrap form. So that was probably one of my favorite parts about all this. Also, the other pros is the story feels completed, so no spoilers here, but once you beat the DLC and you finally get to the end after beating the Mega Interplanet Ninja Assassin Claptrap, then everything just comes together. You just get to see why he's frustrated and why this and that, and everything just feels completed. So like I mentioned, before Borderlands 2 came out and you kind of see more about Claptrap, we didn't really know anything about him, right? We didn't know, you know, what his problem was or anything. So after playing this DLC, you finally realize, like, oh, I get it now. You know, that's why he's Claptrap, right? So that's why this story just feels completed for me. Also, you get a free skill point for completing this DLC. So once completing, that's part of your end prize. So you get a free skill point to do. So what I mean by free skill point is you don't have to level up for it. So if you max level is, you know, 69 or whatever, say you get, out of those, you get 64. Well, after completing moxxi, the underdome and this, now you get 66 to work with. And you think like, oh, 2 is not a big deal, but it is a big deal because 2 can unlock certain kill skills and stuff like that to really, really amplify what you're trying to do. So it is very, very strong to have extra skill points. Also, another pro is you have a great end prize. So the loot you get from this is, of course, not as good as the secret armory of General knoxx, but it's still fantastic. There's a ton, and everything is respawnable. You just save and quit, you load right in, you walk down the street, and it's right there. So I don't want to spoil it any more than that, but it's awesome. So let's talk about some of the cons. So some of the cons is all the loot is at the end. So you're doing all this stuff. Yeah, you're getting XP, you're getting money, you're getting, you know, some, you know, white weapons, some commons, some greens every now and then, but you don't really get anything all DLC. But at the end, you get a lot, so you make up for it, if that makes sense. So that is the only thing. So if you're playing through the game and then you decide you want to kill a bunch of Claptraps, switching over to the thing might be a little difficult to take down some of these bosses because you don't really get any gear and stuff to help you along the way. It's pretty much bring everything you have in, and hopefully you make it till the end so you can get more stuff. That's pretty much what this DLC is like, and that is the only cons I have for this. So, anyway, thanks guys for watching. I love this Borderlands 1. I love all the DLC. Everything about it was awesome. I 100% recommend the Season Pass for this. The Game of the Year Edition, no doubt about it. Playing the game on its own is fantastic, but the DLC just makes me tear up. It is that good. So, the recommended order I have for you guys is obviously General knoxx, then the Claptrap Robot Revolution, then the Zombie Island of Dr. Ned, then finally the Underdome Riot. Now, those are just the rating order. I definitely think it's the most priority of getting the Underdome Riot first, just so you can get that bank. But just in the rating wise, those are the ways that I'd recommend. So anyway, thanks guys for watching. I will see you in the next video where we talk about the Borderlands 3 pre-sequel complete DLC guide. So thanks, and I will see you in the next video. So previous video was the Aurelia Baroness skill point or loadout guide. So if you just want to know how to build her in Borderlands pre-sequel, make sure you go ahead and check that out. And featured video is the complete DLC guide for Borderlands 2. So if you haven't seen that one yet and you're not sure whether to get the Game of the Year edition on Borderlands 2, make sure you go ahead and check that out, and I can help you out along the way. So thanks guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see more videos on Borderlands 1, please leave a thumbs up. Also, best way to contact me is on Twitter at myheroescape20, and I now have a Facebook So facebook.com/myheroescape20, you can check me out there. And if you want to see me play this game live, go to twitch.tv/myheroescape20. So I will be streaming more often now. So yeah. So anyway, thanks guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Alright, peace!